Burrow airs it out. Chase. Hello. Touchdown.
And I got a voice inside that needs to be fed.
Are two of the best historically, just not thus far. Against these receivers.
Making adjustments again, and there is Smith roaming free, breaks a tackle. Ohio State strikes quickly.
What's up, everybody, and welcome back to Ohio Sports Talk. I am your host, Doug. That's the coach, Jordan Maxson. Jordan, how you doing, buddy? How you doing?
We are doing well. We'll get into everything else, but my neck of the woods, we're doing okay. I want to believe. I feel a little. I feel a little less believing at the moment.
Beautiful poster.
Had some nightmares, but it is a beautiful poster. But we'll definitely get into it, and I can't complain. So, how are things going in your neck of the woods?
Everything is going really well over here. We're staying busy. A lot going on. Sports, everything like that. Obviously, March Madness is going on. The Cavs are playing right now. The Reds had opening day today. Super excited about opening day. I'm just pumped, guys. So I'm really excited to get into the show today, Jordan. We've brought the guys on from Red Hot Reds podcast, our Reds coverage. Those guys have been doing an excellent job. Let's bring them in, Ricky and Roger Straz. Guys, how you doing tonight? I mean, obviously, we're going to get into it. Opening day, it didn't go our way. It didn't go the way we wanted. But I felt like, we saw some good things today, and we'll talk about the bad things. Ricky, how you doing, man?
Doing well. How about yourself?
Not doing too bad. And then Roger, how's it going, man?
Yeah, lots of emotions. Opening day obviously has a lot of hope, has a lot of good feelings going into it, and I like to think that we're still hopeful in Cincinnati. But dang, that was tough.
Well, let's start there because opening day, the parade, everything, you get the emotions of everything going on. It's a fun day in Cincinnati. It's a big party. And then the game comes, and, for most of the game, it feels good. Reds get out to the 3-0 lead, then it's 3-2, and then tragedy strikes. The Candyman had the 3 RBIs, really excited for him. How did you guys feel about the lineup and how everybody was positioned? We'll start with you, Ricky. How did you feel about the opening day lineup and how everything was laid out by Terry Francona today?
Yeah, I liked it. I think it was a solid lineup. I'm not 100% sold on Lux being the cleanup guy, but
yeah.
I think for what we have right now with the injuries and everything, I think it's a good short-term lineup. I don't want this to be an everyday lineup.
No, and I think that's fair. Roger, same question. How did you feel about the lineup?
Yeah, it worked out well. So far so good. I like the table setting by Friedel. McLean didn't have the best game, but he's healthy. He's still out there. Ellie was all right. Yeah, I think Steer might be a question mark. I didn't see him have really great at-bats, to be honest with you. Hopefully, whatever is going on with him, he can get that cleaned up, and he can be that 4-hitter, hopefully, behind Ellie.
Jordan, now that we got to watch the first day lineup, was there anything that drew a question mark from you? Was there anything that you thought after we saw, what did you think of the lineup?
I didn't hate the lineup. The Candyman had a great opening day one. Ellie Deli Cruz did his things and got on base, and that manufactured runs the good old-fashioned way where we didn't have to rely on the long ball, where in years past it had to be home run or die for the Reds to score. So I wasn't unhappy with it. I know there's going to be tweaking. We're not at full strength. I'm not ready to freak out about it yet. And, Terry Francona is a manager that was in retirement a year ago. So, once he puts his, pants back on and gets kind of going, I think he's going to be fine. So I'm not ready to hit any panic buttons yet. It's day one. We got a day to sit on it on Friday. We're going to see, the adjustments that are going to be made on Saturday. And, but as for the lineup, that's where I'll stop. I don't hate it. It's injury riddled at the moment, and it's only going to get better, fellas.
That's a good point. And then let's talk about, some of the pitching. Hunter Green, guys, goes out 5 strong innings, 8 strikeouts. gave up the 2-run home run, only gave up 3 hits today. How would you guys grade Hunter Green's opening day start? Ricky, we'll start with you.
Yeah, I mean he's showing he's a top whatever number you want to put in front of
Well,
it.
I wanted you to put a number on it because I saw your tweet.
I
saw your tweet.
Up
So.
there.
Top 2?
Yeah, I'll say, being realistic, I'll say top 5. But,
Okay.
he's Skeens is probably number 1 in the division. But I think you could put him top 5 pretty easily.
Yep. And then Roger, similar question. How did you feel about Hunter Green? He got a little loose there with the slider. The command wasn't there, later in his performance. But overall, top to bottom, very solid. What was your thoughts, Roger?
Yeah, I know that I'd put a number on him being a top 8 again in Cy Young voting, a bit of a troll job, but because Fangraphs and Petcoa kind of had predicted he's going to have a regression. But today, that was no regression. That was his good stuff. Up until the home run from Ramos in the 5th inning, he had his stuff going, and it was pretty magical, pretty spectacular to see him strike out 7 out of the first 9 guys. That was top-notch stuff. That's the type of thing you want to see out of the frontline starter, the number 1 starting pitcher. I just hope he can keep that going throughout the whole season.
Definitely. Jordan, the ace of the rotation, goes out, pitches really well, and then we hand it off to the bullpen, Jordan. The bullpen, I thought, until tragedy struck, I thought the bullpen really looked solid, Barlow, Pagan, Santillon, and then, I thought those guys really handled their business. What were your thoughts when Ian Gabolt was brought into the game to close out the game, Jordan?
But before strategy, I didn't hate it because I know we don't have Diaz again. I know the injuries are there, so I was kind of okay with it. And he was brought into a situation where he wasn't necessarily behind. He didn't have bases loaded or anything crazy at the time when he came out. So the stress was a little bit less, you could say, for opening day. But I was okay with it. I didn't know a lot about him up until now. So it's just we'll see where it goes. I think he has a place, but not as a closer.
Yeah, I agree with that. Somebody tweeted out, a non-roster invitee who was one of the last guys to make the team this season is the opening day closer. I don't love that move from Terry Francona. Obviously, it's game 1 of 162 games, guys. The history isn't great when the Reds lose opening day, but I'm not going to overreact to one game. Ricky, in that situation, how do you go about closing this game? Who do you, either the guys that were left, who would you have liked to seen in that position?
It's tough. Sam Moll might be one, but he's a notorious slow starter. I would have liked to have flipped it. I think Francona said after the game that he could have flip-flopped a Jabot and Pagan and maybe have Pagan try to close the game out. But I like Tony Santillon's stuff. He's got an electric fastball. I think he would be one that I would like to see. And then also Graham Ashcraft was available too, so maybe get him some work too.
Roger, how'd you feel about the closing situation?
Not great at all, because if we look at it, at least on a experience standpoint, Taylor Rogers, who they brought in from the Giants, and I'm guessing the only reason why maybe he didn't put in Taylor Rogers is because maybe the guys on the Giants lineup know his stuff well enough to beat him up. But in either way, the way that the result went, I feel like Taylor Rogers, who has 83 career saves compared to Ian Jabot's 4, would have been the better option, to be honest with you. And we were actually talking to Greg Kuffner, a.k.a. Reds Daily 4, and he must have got the script because it nearly went exactly the way he said it was going to be. He said it was going to be 4-3 going into the 9th, and he wanted either Pagan, but Pagan was used earlier, unfortunately, like in the 7th or 8th inning, right? And then it would be Taylor Rogers because he's a ground ball pitcher. He keeps the ball down. Unfortunately, that's what did in Jabot. Like Jabot threw that ball up high, and or that Wilmar Flores hit that 3-run home run to put the Giants ahead and get the win. So for me, even though that Rogers is a known for the Giants, I think a guy with 83 career saves probably should be in that situation, in my opinion.
And I think you hit it right on the head. What in my like you just said, why would you not go with experience on opening day? Yeah, he played for the Giants, but come on, man. This guy has done it. He's done it at this level. You know, it just felt like an interesting decision opening day wise. Again, let's not go crazy. But it's just frustrating when you lose one that it felt like you had control of all day. Let's transition, guys. You just mentioned it, Roger. You guys had a fantastic interview with Greg Kaufner and that's at Reds Daily 4 on X. Excellent interview, guys. I think you guys really have done a great job with the Red Hot Reds podcast. You know, what can we look for the future for you guys? I know what are we 7 episodes in now? I might be a one-off, but you know, you guys have built up some episodes here. What are we going forward from here with you guys?
Yeah, we're looking at doing like Sunday live weekly recaps. Hopefully, we got a few interviews lined up. We're going to try to do weekday interviews. Those will be pre-recorded, and then if there isn't an interview scheduled, we might go with maybe a live on a weekday, and maybe do like a like State of the Reds show or something just to see where it goes. But yeah, Sunday recaps for sure.
And that's going to be live Sunday recaps, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Do you guys have a time hammered out now?
What would we say? 8 p.m.
Yep, 8 p.m. every Sunday night. We're gonna recap, go live. We're gonna take questions. We're gonna recap, who did well that week, who didn't. Question some decisions. Hopefully, we'll have a lot of positive things to talk about. Not necessarily the case right now after game 1, but like you said, Doug, there's 161 other games. Tito knows what he's doing. I like to think that maybe he just maybe thought he put too much faith in Jabot and not necessarily, put in Rogers instead.
Yeah, and so you guys heard it here first. The Red Hot Reds podcast, you will be getting more content from these guys. Starting this Sunday, March 30th, we will be having Red Hot Reds live every Sunday, 8 p.m. Eastern. That's going to be awesome, guys, because the way you guys have laid out your shows, the way you guys have gone about, now that you guys have built up a little chemistry, you know how the flow's going, you know how everything's laid out. I think you guys have been doing really well with the content, and now to get more content from you guys, excellent stuff. I know you guys have some big interviews lined up. That's going to be great. Can't wait to announce those for you guys. Continue to do an excellent job. You guys are crushing it. The YouTube views you guys have been getting for us have been excellent. They've been consistent and strong. Like you see in the comments today, Jason K, they want more Red Hot Reds. It's awesome. It's great to have you guys on the team. I'm appreciative. Ricky, congratulations on the big job over at Chatterbox Sports. That's insane. Congratulations, man. You're doing great. Roger, you haven't got any upgrades yet, but you're
oh, don't do him dirty.
Ricky's a man, man. He's everything behind our podcast for the most part. Like all the stuff you see, all the clips, all the interviews, he is killing it. So, and yeah, tune in March 31st for the pregame.
Sorry, 31st.
Yeah, the 31st is going to be right Monday. Tune into that. Chatterbox Sports, just free pub for them. But Ricky's going to be there. He's going to be, killing it there as well. But yeah, we're glad to have Ricky on our side. I'm very thankful for Ricky and all he's done so far.
I'll shout us out for sure.
Well, I got that text from Ricky, about getting a pay bump, and I thought, whoa, we just started. No, I'm just, if we can't poke fun at each other, but super excited for what you guys are doing. I think I'm excited to have you guys on the team. I know Jordan's excited. We're excited for you guys' new venture. You guys have any last thoughts before we send you off today?
Man, one of 162, man. That's all I got to say. Trust in Tito. That's all. That's it.
Yeah,
I think he's got a young roster. The roster's young. He's got to learn the guys, and he'll figure it out.
And my one thing is that last year at this time, David Bell was pulling all the right strings, Frankie Montas, Nick Martini, and they were winning, and we were thinking we're going to win 90 games, and that didn't happen. Also want to say this today, 0 errors from the Reds. So, hey, you know what I mean? Let's go.
Hey, there are positives. There were positives today.
For sure.
All right, guys. Again, if you have not, check out the Red Hot Reds podcast. They do a great job. We have their videos over on our YouTube channel at Ohio Sports Talk. Check them out. Ricky, Roger, thank you guys for jumping on with us to this tonight. And congratulations on everything that's going well for you guys. We really appreciate you. And obviously, we will be seeing you Sunday night live. So that'll be awesome. Thanks again, guys. And we'll talk to you guys later, okay?
Thank you.
Go Reds.
Oh, Jordan, the Red Hot Reds podcast, man, those guys are killing it. They're doing a great job. Those guys are doing a great job.
Part of the
Oh, yeah, no.
Ohio
They're part of the
Sports
family. You know, Ricky doing a great job with Chatterbox. Roger doing an excellent job on Red Hot Reds. Jordan, we got another guest today. Let's bring him in. Wes Fisher. Let me change the how you doing today, Wes?
I'm doing
What's going
great.
on?
How are you? What's up, man?
We're doing good,
Well,
Wes is a friend. Wes is a deep friend of mine, future director of a project that we are doing together this summer, along with some other things that we got in the works. Pittsburgh native, but I'll let you kind of talk to you about yourself. I know it. Yeah, I know it. We get to pick on him on this show, but
Yeah.
no, I'm kidding, brother. But,
tell me all you want. I was
yeah,
actually listening, dude. I was listening to what you guys were saying about the Reds. If you could only feel my pain as a Pirates fan, you guys think you guys had a bad day. Talk about, Skeens. You waste him on opening. I'm going to make a prediction now that when Skeens pitches, we're going to probably waste 20 of his 30 starts, maybe 30, 20 or 30.
Ouch.
Yeah, that's just how bad our bullpen is and how bad our management is. You have O'Neal Cruz in there making boneheaded plays, acting like he's got to be superhero all the time. You blow a 4-1 lead.
Yes.
God.
Insane.
It's
Skeens went 5 1/3, only gave up 3 hits, 2 earned runs, struck out 7, and you guys end up losing 5-4. That's tough. Wes, how about you tell us a little bit more about yourself? Jordan gave us a little insight. Tell us a little bit more about you and what you've got going on.
Yeah, so my background is I'm a filmmaker, writer, producer. I do a lot of film stuff here in Pittsburgh, on the indie side, on the professional side. But Jordan, we met. I guess it was really over Facebook. He was I do a lot of social media with all the projects I work on.
Yeah.
And we just connected, on Facebook, and we ended up going to the Arnold Sports Classic, which was this past February. I go every year pretty much, but it's a great bodybuilding expo, fitness, that kind of stuff.
Huge here in Ohio. Huge.
Oh, I love it. It's great. It's probably it's my favorite event of the year. It's Halloween for adults. You take a bag and you get all kinds of free stuff, So yeah, it was fun. But yeah, I'm working on a film project in June, and Jordan's going to be acting as one of my characters, and excited for that. June 15th to the 22nd. So
that's awesome.
Yeah.
Jordan has been talking to me about that behind the scenes. Obviously, congratulations, Jordan, on getting that acting gig there and getting that part of your life started. That's awesome. Wes, question for you: how many projects have you directed so far?
Directed, I've done 3. Okay. I mostly write and produce. I work with a lot of different indie companies. I just actually am announcing my film company in a couple weeks. I just got my logo, and this is something I should have done 5 years ago. But in the entertainment industry is it's definitely you got to watch your step, and you work with different people, and you want to make sure what you do is what you want to do, because you put something out there that's not good, your reputation's behind it and everything. So I've kind of taken a step back and learned from other filmmakers in the industry. I've had mentors throughout the past 10 years that have kind of taken notes from, and just kind of watched it from afar and kind of added to my style, and just taking notes and stuff like that. But finally, I'm starting to, branch out with projects I'm working on, different companies I'm working with, and we have some features that we're working on, some shorts, and we're in the distribution phase of all this. And, I've gone to a lot of different film festivals over the years, so made a lot of different connections between that. And, just plugging away on social media.
Yeah, we trust me, we understand that plugging away side of social media, man. Trying to figure out how all this works and trying to get the most eyeballs on your stuff. I totally understand that side of it, but obviously, as somebody who watches a lot of movies, has always loved, movie making and everything like that. Obviously, not as technical, but just the concept of going out and creating your own film is just such a fantastic idea in my head. So it's really nice to hear from somebody who has that background and has gone out and done their own thing and created something from nothing, pretty much. An idea in your head turns into an hour and a half movie. It's just an awesome concept. So definitely very cool to hear. You and Jordan working together, that's awesome. Obviously, Jordan's filled me in a little bit, but getting to talk about it on here is great. Is there any information you can give us about the upcoming movie? Anything you can give away?
Yeah. So it's called Only Mortals Can Be Heroes. It's a drama that's actually loosely based on a true story. I got the book about 5 or 6 years ago, and I've kind of been sitting on it because it's kind of hits a personal chord with me too, because it's actually based off his son's his overcoming addiction to heroin, which I had a cousin who passed away from heroin addiction and everything. So, in terms of, making a film about that, I've always was under the belief and under the impression that, the last thing people want to do, is go to a theater and see some, hard, heavy, dramatic shit like that, So I've always kind of stayed away from that kind of stuff. But there's a lot of horror films being made right now. I tend to like to do projects that aren't being made, whether it's dramas or like sports comedies. For example, after I'm done with this drama, I'm actually going to be doing a sports comedy in the fall.
Awesome.
So, yeah. So I've been kind of, going between the one side of the seesaw and the next. But I like to do things that people aren't doing. Filmmaking is like really all about having the right project at the right time, and just being in the right place at the right time, meeting the right person at the right time. It's basically like hitting the lottery, really, because there's so much content out there, so many different streaming platforms nowadays, and it's always something different.
Yeah, I mean, you got to think about just how many movies, how many projects are happening at a time. I mean, and I commend you for, doing it and making it happen. I think that's awesome. Jordan, what else you got for us? Because I mean, hearing Wes and hearing some of his story, it's great, because I talk to you about it all the time. I was like, why don't we try to make a movie, try to write a movie, try to create 100%. A script. I have the books at my house, it doesn't always have to come from a book, but, learning how to do each step of the script, all that kind of stuff. I have those books. I've been reading those books. It's not all, it's been a while since I've reread them, but it's fascinating to me, the world of movie making and things like that. So it's very cool to hear from you.
Yeah, it's always been a definite passion of ours through being kids onto adulthood, and even our kids passing it on. So it's definitely something that we hold near and dear, and can't wait to light it up for you this summer, especially at the table read coming up, and we'll take it from there, and I'll get to talk shit about the Pittsburgh Pirates all summer long, and you'll get to talk about me, Reds, and maybe
I'm more of a Penguins fan, but
Well, there you go. At least
there you go. But maybe I'll talk shit on the Steelers not having a quarterback yet on you too, and
listen,
you and Doug can
get
your Browns fandom. And
well, dude, I'm taking my own darkness retreat if Rodgers ends up being our quarterback.
Okay, not a Rodgers guy. I support that. I understand. Not a Rodgers guy.
We understand that. But, Wes, but before we let you rock and roll tonight, anything else for our viewers? That you want to share your handle where they can reach you and see your content?
If you'd like to look more of my stuff, I have a lot of stuff I post on Instagram, so you can at Real Wes Fisher, REEL. I post a lot of stuff. That's my main Instagram, but I use TikTok, different projects. I post separate Instagram pages. And then also, if you want to check out more about kind of my approach to film. I just recently did a podcast called Studio Me podcast with Peter Regan, and I talk about like the psychology of film and kind of what it takes to approach a project and building your relationship with other people, cast and crew, what have you. So look that up if you guys want to learn some tips and tricks and trade of the independent filmmaking scene. So
definitely. Well, Wes, we really appreciate your time. Thank you for jumping on with us. I know we're usually mainly a sports podcast, but we love film. And Jordan and I we talk about it every damn day. We talk about some kind of movie, what's coming out, what Jordan loves these crappy remakes. So no, I'm just kidding.
Before I leave, I gotta ask you, what's your favorite sports movie?
Favorite sports movie. The first one that came to mind is the recent Ben Affleck one, Jordan, that we saw. It may not be my favorite of all time, but what was that called? The Way Back.
The long way back.
Ben Affleck struggles as an alcoholic, and he's brought back in to coach his former high school team where he starred at, and you get to see kind of his struggles with alcoholism and trying to get on that straight and narrow path. So I thought Ben Affleck did a great job. I believe he wrote it and directed it also, I believe. But
you
just
named one that I haven't seen it, so I'm gonna have to look that up actually. I mean, obviously Rudy, Friday Night Lights, I mean,
of course, some classics.
But
some great films out there.
I'm a Any Given Sunday and Moneyball guy. Are those my big ones?
Normal teams are here. We're all the way down. That's a great scene.
Growing up, it was always Angels in the Outfield, Rookie of the Year.
That's
absolutely.
Speaking of baseball,
classics. Right. Well, Wes, we appreciate your time tonight, man. We'd love to have you back on. We'd love to talk some more film with you down the road. Thank you for taking the time for being here with us tonight, man. Obviously, hopefully everybody can go and check out your Instagram, check out some of your TikTok and support what you have going on, man. Thank you again for stopping in with us today.
Thank you, guys.
All right. Yep. See you.
We'll see you soon, brother.
All right, Jordan, let's keep it moving back to sports. That was awesome. Shout out to Wes for jumping on and getting to talk a little movie magic with us. That was, a great, 10 minutes there. Jordan, let's talk about our Cleveland Cavaliers though. Let me readjust. There we go. Let's talk a little Cleveland Cavaliers right now. They are playing the Spurs, Jordan. They're up by 9 right now, Jordan. A lot of focus on defense tonight against a lesser Spurs team. I wouldn't say the offense has been stupendous. It was good to see Donovan Mitchell, get back 25 points tonight. He's got 14 assists, doing a little bit of everything that guys need tonight. And then Jared Allen, 29 points, 16 rebounds, dominating the inside. Good to see those guys getting back on that page. Yeah, the Spurs aren't great, but we need to get these guys back in full swing before playoffs start. So any thoughts tonight? Obviously, a game that the Cavs should win very easily. Right. And they just finished up. They won by 8, 124-116. Another good win. Cavs moved to 59-14. Jordan, go ahead.
Again, and this Cavs team is not at full strength. We're resting possibly the defensive player of the year didn't play tonight, among others. So that this is a solid win. But even if you go back, Doug, the Trailblazers, Portland. Yeah, Portland Trailblazers, not a great team either. But the Cavs get back into the swing of things. They do what they need to do. Darius Garland scores 27, so he kind of gets the rust off. So I'd say these tune-up games right now, Doug, against lesser teams, that's what you need, especially coming off of consecutive losses. So now this makes 3 in a row. We get some good taste in our mouth.
Yeah.
You get a little bit of confidence back. We're resting some starters in between. So this is kind of the right formula going into the playoffs. Kenny's got them humming. And especially Jared Allen tonight, almost scoring 30. That is a much needed night that reminds everybody that our 2 big men are definitely dominant when they have to play by themselves. So
yeah,
and how deep this team really is, Doug, going to the playoffs. So just a little reminder to the rest of the league that we're ready and we're primed. So I'm not hitting any panic button.
Ricky chimes in, Cavs going on their losing streak probably couldn't have happened at a better time. Yeah, I think it was a reset that everybody needed. It was, that kick in the ass that kind of got things restarted. Now that they've won the three straight, Utah, Portland, and now San Antonio. They're at Detroit on Friday, Jordan, and then at the Clippers on Sunday, or they got the Clippers at home on Sunday. The Detroit game's going to be interesting, Jordan. Detroit, they're hanging around. They're a playoff team this year. JB's got them playing much, much better basketball. What are your thoughts on Detroit tomorrow night?
They were a team that I thought we were going to struggle against a little bit, especially kind of going through like we said, these are still pros, but lesser teams. Detroit is a winning record team, a team that's going to be either the 4th or the 5th seed in the East going to the playoffs, but their defensive rating is top 5. So if there's going to be a time for the offense to be tuned up for the Cleveland Cavaliers, it's going to be against a good defensive team, not the best team overall, but a good defensive team, and that's what JB Bickerstaff is known for. He got it kind of together in Cleveland starting up. So, Doug, this is the game that I would focus on for points scored, how we look offensively, our sets, our pick and roll, and our offensive rebounding. So this is the taste that we want to get before the playoffs. If we secure this win, then I would say the Cleveland Cavaliers would be back to form. How do you feel about that? Because, again, it's not so much that I'm saying Detroit's a good team, but defensively their rating is a top 5.
Well, I see. I'm going to take it a step further. I think Detroit is a good team. They are 5th in the East right now. They are contending for a battling for playoff spots. They are 2 games behind the Indiana Pacers right now, and then 4 games behind the New York Knicks. They're fighting for those top tier spots right now. So they're definitely going to come into this game ready to go, Jordan. I'm excited to kind of watch and see how serious the Cavs take it. Who's resting tomorrow night? Because it looks like the way Kenny's playing it, he's kind of giving each guy a night off in between here. So is Mitchell taking the night off? Is Allen taking the night off? Who's going to have the night off tomorrow? And who's going to have to step up in their place like they had tonight with Evan Mobley being gone? Dean Wade chipped in a little bit. The guys off the bench, Hunter chipped in a little bit. Isaac Okoro had a good basketball game tonight. So I'm kind of interested to see who's going to step up tomorrow and who's going to make the plays to help them succeed.
If you're looking at it rotation wise, I think Garland would be the candidate for a night off. He's played through Donovan Mitchell's rest. He's played through Evan Mobley's rest. So, if we're looking at it, it's probably going to be Darius Garland, but getting Hunter back in the rotation might alleviate some of that when it comes to scoring and some of the individual plays that Garland makes, and especially
Ty Jerome also sat out tonight, so that he'll be back tomorrow night. I think Garland could be out tomorrow night. He struggled with his shot tonight, 4-15, still had 10 points, still had 9 assists, so still did things that really helped the team, but kind of, struggled a little bit with his jump shot. Jordan, the Cavs' magic number as of right now to lock down the 1 seed is 6. We need 6 more wins to hammer this down. So I think the Cavs are in a good spot, Jordan. Let's keep it rolling. Let's talk a little March Madness, Jordan. As of right now, Alabama just sealed up their victory over BYU. They won that game handily. They ended up pulling that out by, 25? So Alabama, their offense is a juggernaut at the moment. Florida is currently up 80-64 over Maryland. So both teams are handling business right now in the March Madness tournament. Also, huge announcement for us. We just hit 1,000 live viewers. Thank you, guys. It's been awesome tonight. Having the Red Hot Reds on, having Wes on to talk a little film. Thank you guys for tuning in and being here with us. 1,000 live viewers means a lot to me and Jordan. It continues to help build us forward and push us forward and continue doing this show. But Jordan, let's get into March Madness, man. We're in the big games now, Jordan. We're in the games that are really, you're getting some really good basketball teams. Obviously, the results tonight don't show that, but we get Duke versus Arizona here tipping off at 9:39. We've got Texas Tech and Arkansas at 10 o'clock tonight. We're getting good basketball games, and then we got a whole nother slate tomorrow. What game out of the remaining games are you looking forward to most?
Well, I mean, my eyes and my compass are going to be looking, especially in a tri-state area with me being in Cincinnati, The UK game is going to be all eyes in my household. That's kind of all we have left from the tri-state area that I would root for personally.
Yeah.
So definitely want to see that. What about you, Doug? I mean, I had this Florida game circled, so I'm kind of watching this as it's going along as well.
I think the Kentucky versus Tennessee game is a must-see type game. The thing is, Jordan, it's so hard to beat a team 3 times in a year.
Yes.
And Kentucky has already beat Tennessee 2 times this season. If they could beat Tennessee for the 3rd time, this would be one of those special type runs, in my opinion, for Kentucky, who's under a first-year coach, who brought in a bunch of transfers and made it work. If they could beat Tennessee for the 3rd time, I think that's a massive feather in the cap for that program as they try to rebuild outside of the Calipari era. Obviously, at Kentucky, you're never doing a full rebuild, but you're still, changing out your coach. You're still working in new offense. You're still doing a lot of new stuff. You're rebuilding the program from Calipari's image to Pope's image. And I think if they could beat Tennessee here, that would be just a massive, massive win for that program, even though they're an all-time great program going anyway, if that makes sense.
No, it does, but they definitely had to reload, reload and restructure. Like you said, it wasn't building it from the ground up, but, players like former Dayton Flyer, Barrera's definitely gave them a shot in the arm. I believe he had 21 points in the last NCAA game.
He looked great. Shot the ball well, attacked the rim.
Goodness.
That dude can ball.
I missed him so much, but good to see him, that we get to some of these games, especially in the tri-state area. We get to tune into some of Kentucky, but that's kind of the game that's the biggest game on my radar.
Yeah, no, I think that's a great pick. Tonight, I think I'm looking forward to the Duke and Arizona game just because of the guard skill and Cooper Flagg, the way he's able to play. And then tomorrow night, Tennessee and Kentucky, I'm going to sit with you on that one. Let's quickly update the bracket challenge, Jordan. As of right now, Brad is tied with me for the first overall spot. We both have 550 points. He has Auburn winning. I have Houston winning, so it'll probably come down to that. Next, Corey is sitting in 4th place right now, Jordan. 4th place. You're not even the best bracket in your own household. Your bracket doesn't even crack the top 10 in your own household. Are you embarrassed at all?
No, not at all.
You should be. That's my point. You should be.
Not at all.
The Ohio Sports Talk bracket, though, Jordan, is in 3rd place right now. Pretty fun here. We had 15 entries plus some hard copy entries on from my family, so it's been really close. It's been really fun watching the tournament this year, Jordan. I've enjoyed it. I know a lot of people are complaining still, and we talked about this the other day on Monday. It's March, man. Basketball. It's basketball all the damn time, and I've enjoyed the hell out of the tournament. Any last thoughts on March Madness before we keep it rolling?
No, the madness is only going to get better. So can't wait to be talking Monday about the end results of some of these big games. Definitely.
Let's keep it pushing, Jordan. Next on the agenda, why we're talking about these groups of SOBs is beyond me. But let's talk a little Browns quarterback because the rumor mill has been swirling. Woo! There was a rumor put out there from Big Play Big Play Cleveland that the Browns were going to try to trade for Dak Prescott. That was flushed away instantly. Kirk Cousins was getting Chipotle in Cleveland earlier today. Pictures were emerging all over town. Russell Wilson was going to be the quarterback for a couple of weeks. Then he signed with the Giants. Aaron Rodgers sounds like he might ends up with Pittsburgh. Jordan, on our roster right this second, we've got Kenny Pickett as the Browns starting quarterback.
Well, Doug, I actually had a little bit of announcement on that. I will be in Cleveland working out the old arm this weekend to put my name in the hat for quarterback. I will also be wearing double gloves to compete with Kenny Pickett because that seems to be the theme here in Cleveland. So I will let everybody Monday know how that works out, and we'll build from there.
You should be trying out for left guard for your putrid offensive line. Oh my God. No, that's funny. I'm glad you said that. That was great. So yeah, Jordan, I mean, at the end of the day, What are NFL teams built around in today's game? They are built around the quarterback position. They are built around quarterbacks. The Browns do not have a quarterback. I understand Cam Ward is the number one guy. Tennessee is probably going to draft him. I think Shedeur Sanders could be the guy in Cleveland. I think he could be. I think he's got that mindset. I think he's got that. I think he's got the ability. I really do. I
believe in it too. I believe in it too, and it echoes off of Monday's episode where we said the Browns were hitting, singles, doubles, and triples in the sense of free agency. They have enough depth and they have enough, starting caliber players to get a rookie quarterback in there and have some success now, Doug. So I am 100% all in on Sanders, especially with the upgrades on the offensive line and some of the health you're getting.
And yeah, you just have to have a quarterback. I see a lot of people draft Abdul Carter at 2, and if Jackson Dart's there at 33, but you don't know if Jackson Dart's going to be there. Shedeur Sanders is going to be there. I feel like he's the pick, Jordan. I don't know if he's the pick. I think we've got to also focus on getting a great running back, which there are plenty of in this draft, Jordan. I know we need to get a receiver.
This is the draft to get it.
We've got to get a receiver to help out this receiver core. It's Jerry Jeudy, it's Tillman, and it's Jamari Thrash. It's not a good receiver core. It's really not. If the Brandon Ayuk trade could happen, that would be excellent. Njoku's a good tight end, but his has health problems. I mean, the Browns need help, Jordan, and I think it starts by going all in on a quarterback that they believe in. And if it's not Sanders, then I understand. But trading up for Cam Ward is going to be very difficult to do. It's going to cost a lot to trade up for Cam Ward, and I don't see that happening. I don't want to start the season as Carson Wentz as our starting quarterback or Kenny Pickett. That is a death sentence. I would much rather spend those games on a rookie who's learning the game and learning the offense and trying to get better. I would much rather watch that happen than watch Carson Wentz or Kenny Pickett play quarterback. I would much rather watch a rookie struggle for the first 5 or 6 weeks than I would run those two out there. Those two are proven losers, in my opinion. You can say otherwise with stats or whatever. No. When you watch the game, those guys are not putting their teams in the best spots to win. So to me, Jordan, it's Sanders, or you wait a little bit later, but a rookie quarterback should be leading the Browns this year, because I don't think with the current roster they can make the playoffs, especially with how good our division is, there's still the Chiefs, there's still the Bills, there's still all these other teams. I don't see us being a contender this season, no matter what. So let's take this year and get somebody ready and go all in next season, if that makes sense.
Oh, it makes 100% sense. This, that's how I felt when we first got Joe Burrow. Granted that season ended in injury,
yeah.
But getting a guy in, getting that rookie quarterback in, getting the experience, and then whatever the wins and I hate saying piss away a year, but whatever the wins and losses is, that's why I wouldn't trade the world for Cam Ward, because if you have a struggling rookie quarterback this year and you finish with a top 10 pick next year, now we can go draft the weapons. Now go get a top 10 receiver. Now go, at number 34, go get a guy who can, play guard, get another running back or another receiver if you want to double dip, Doug. I mean, it's just, This is I wouldn't pawn the future for Ward when, Sanders has the family value. Sanders, he's going to know the business. It's not going to be a shock for him. He played in one of the worst offensive lines in college in Colorado.
People don't give a shit about that context.
But you almost have to. He's going to a much better offensive line with the Browns. So the man's going to have time, and he knows how to extend plays. So I think he has all the athleticism. I as a Bengals fan would be a little scared to face a Sanders for 5, 6, 7, or if you franchise them the right way, the next 10 years. And I think some of the battles between him and Burrow would be epic, especially with the Ravens and their quarterback. I mean, now you have 2 athletic quarterbacks. So that's primetime football. That would feed families. That would feed ratings. So I think that would be not only best for Cleveland, but best for the league, if I can say that selfishly.
All right. Browns take Shedeur Sanders at 2. That's what we're going with. We'll keep talking about, obviously. We got some more content coming up with the NFL draft about a month and a half away now? So
not even. We are 32
month,
days away.
So yeah, a month.
days.
Sorry, a month away. So let's change it over, Jordan. A little news and notes here before we get out of here. FC Cincinnati back in action this weekend, Jordan. They play Saturday. What is that? At 8:30. Nashville comes to town.
Yes.
So hopefully they can get back on the winning ways. Jordan, what else we got? Any news and notes from your neck of the woods?
We got a Patino now over in that terrible place.
Xavier, they go out and hire a good coach. I hate it. Man.
I hate it, but good for the city, good for the sport, especially in the area. And hats off to the program. I thought they were gonna. You and I kind of discussed it in news and notes on Monday that they might hire internally, and that's what the Compass was kind of going for. So when that news broke, and especially when we broke it here on our platform, courtesy of Doug, I was impressed. So, that's a big news and notes for me. If I want to talk a little, Bengals are still at a stalemate with contract talks with Trey Hendrickson. So no big time. It wasn't even worth the background at this point. No big time news there.
There's nothing to say.
There's nothing to say other than continue to play the weight game. I need to read more into it, but I know the Bengals just kind of signed a deal with Miami of Ohio. I want to know what that entails. That was kind of an interesting article I came across before we went to the air, so I'll have more details on that on Monday. So I think that's going to be an interesting partnership, especially for them being on kind of separate parts of the state, north and south here. So that's going to be fun to report. What about you, Doug? Anything else on on top of your head? I can see if we can do a little Guardians check for our boys up north.
Yep, Guardians got the win today, Jordan. They won 7-4, I believe. 7-4 over the Royals. They were in Kansas City today. Quan had 2 hits, and Manzardo had 4 RBIs. I think he's the 3rd or 4th Guardian to have a double, triple, and home run in the same game. So a huge game for Manzardo, who was DH today. Yeah, 7-4, a good start to the season for the Guards. I assume, Jordan, they're going to contend and they're going to be a playoff team again. That's just what the Guardians do. They play good baseball. They play solid baseball, and they go out and they perform. And they're starting the year off in a good way. This season is the way I can put it, man. They rallied in the 10th and took care of business, and I like watching the Guardians play. They play good ball, and I really respect that. Yeah,
and we got we covered them last season, but we really got into their playoff run. We covered that hard because we are Ohio Sports Talk, so definitely happy to see them contend, especially against some of those bigger empire teams in the AL. You got your Yankees, you got your LA. So definitely happy for them. And, hopefully we'll be talking some happy Reds news and some happy Guardians news come Monday. So.
Hell yeah. Guys, this has been Ohio Sports Talk. I want a quick shout out, 1,102 live viewers tonight. I want a quick shout out to everybody in the comments section. Roger, Zach, Ricky, my grandma, Jason K, Tyler McGurk, Jenna, everybody who's in here who is commenting throughout the show, helping us out. We love that conversation. We love getting able to talk to people. We love talking on our platform. We love getting into these conversations on X, and we appreciate everybody's support, guys. If you have not, head over to the Ohio Sports Talk YouTube, hit that subscribe button. Help us get to 610 subscribers. We're 4 away from that number right now. Help us hit that next benchmark. I know we've got some good stuff coming next week, Jordan. We're going to be back again live Monday night, 9 o'clock Eastern. We'll talk Reds baseball from the weekend. We'll talk Cavs. We'll talk a little March Madness. We'll talk if there's any Bengals news, if there's any Browns news. We're going to hammer it, guys. We're going to keep hammering it. Ohio Sports Talk is here to stay. We are growing. We are getting better every episode. We had some good interviews tonight with the Red Hot Reds podcast boys. Check them out. Their videos are on our YouTube page also. We got to talk to director Wes, who is doing some great indie work. Jordan has been tagged to be in one of the films. So a lot going on here for Ohio Sports Talk. We appreciate everybody's support, and we will see you guys, like I said, Monday night, 9 o'clock. Until then, be safe and have a good weekend.